Marvel Comics The New Warriors. Do you think they'll add them to Marvel Rivals? Guys, this is from 4 years ago. That's pretty wild.
My name is Daniel Kibblesmith, and I am the writer of New Warriors #1. I got interested in the New Warriors.
So wait, New Warriors was so they're, oh god, they're doing that thing where they like resurrect an older IP and then they murder it in the streets. Does anybody know about the New Warriors? I didn't. I wasn't like super into Marvel though. I was like kind of into Marvel, but not like, I don't know what the New Warriors is. I don't know every single Marvel IP.
Later, I remember seeing them on the shelf when I was a kid.
Yeah, see, I don't recognize any of these.
Interested in the New Warriors later. I remember seeing them.
I don't know any of these. Firestar, Marvel Boy, Speedball, Kid Nova, and Namorita. I don't know any of them.
On the shelf when I was a kid, picking up comics in the 90s and just feeling like they were too cool for me. Like,
they still need to actually add them to the comics. This book was cancelled BTW and all the characters besides one was shelved.
Hold on, of the New Warriors or the new one? Or the New Warriors?
I was intimidated by, Night Thrasher who had a blade coming out of his...
Wait, what?
90s and just feeling like they were...
Just feeling like they were too cool for me? Okay.
Too cool for me? Like I was intimidated by,
He was intimidated?
Night Thrasher who had a blade
because he had a blade coming out of his wrist? Isn't that the point of superheroes though? Is that they're really cool? Is that they're supposed to be like so fucking cool that you're like, I want to be like them? Isn't that the whole point? And even then they, I don't know.
Out of his wrist. Nova was really...
Even like if you take like even like the nerdiest fucking heroes like freaking Spider-Man, he was still really cool,
Nova was really buff. They were all had a blade coming out of his wrist. Nova was really buff.
Dude, imagine seeing this dude and being like, that's too intimidating for me. Bro, dude, I can't.
We're all the edgy characters for the 90s, as the cover said. New Warriors, I thought, were really interesting characters because they occupy this really cool space. They're forever young, but they've now been around for 30 years. My editors on the previous books I'd done, like Loki and Black Panther.
Wait, so this guy's done a lot of books, actually.
Versus Deadpool, asked if I would be interested in doing a New Warriors tie-in that actually poses them as the authority figures in this conflict instead of the rebels, and I really liked the tension of that. So because the New Warriors are the authority figures in this story, they have to be mentoring New Warriors who are under 21 and subject...
I mean, they're not intimidating, that's for sure.
To the laws that triggered the outlawed event. This new law is making it illegal to be a vigilante under the age of 21. The artist on New Warriors #1 is Luciano Vecchio. He designed all of the new Warriors. And
doesn't the one dude have internet gas as his power?
Gave them costumes that felt as modern
gas?
as the New Warriors costumes to sort of feel classic and instantly familiar. So the first character that we're introduced to is Trailblazer. She's a group home and foster kid who is volunteering at a senior center when this mysterious threat shows up and Night Thrasher runs to the rescue. And because she helps him, she ends up in the crosshairs of this new outlawed law. And she inherited from her grandfather a magic backpack of divine origin. We picked the name Trailblazer because she's somebody who charges into action. She knows that she can do some good with this, mysterious gift that she's been given. Screen time.
Yeah, isn't that like... Yeah, I was about to say, that seems like some kind of Dora the Explorer power or something.
Is a internet kid taken to its sort of logical conclusion. As a youth, he was exposed to his grandfather's experimental internet gas.
He literally has the power of the internet.
And that has patched him permanently into the World Wide Web.
Oh my God, can you guys imagine that? Holy fuck.
The word screen time is only ever used in a sort of restrictive sense. And because we're doing a story about teenage rebels, a lot of the names are about teens fighting against labels that are put on them. So with screen time, we liked the idea that he has infinite screen time.
God. Oh my goodness.
Snowflake and Safe Space are the twins.
Oh yeah, the Snowflake and Safe Space.
And their names are very similar to screen time. It's this idea that these are terms that get thrown around on the internet that they don't see.
Wait, how many of you guys didn't know about this? You type a 1 in chat if you didn't know about this. Oh, dude, there's actually a lot of people that didn't know about this.
As derogatory, to take those words and kind of wear them as badges of honor. Safe Space is kind of a big, burly sort of stereotype.
What? What? No, this is real. This is real. Mercurial, this is real.
Of honor. Safe Space is kind of a big,
stereotypical jock? I've never seen a jock like that. Like, literally never. What are they talking
burly sort of.
Methylene says, unironically, this is why modern writing is terrible. These millennial writers are awful people. Yeah, dude. Is that what the problem is, millennial writers? How did that happen? Disney. What is it specifically about, like, millennials that made the writing so bad? Schools. That makes sense. Kamala says schools. Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, I get it.
Stereotypical jock. He can create force fields, but he can only trigger them if he's protecting somebody else. Snowflake is non-binary and goes by they, them.
Why does this matter? This is my problem with this. Why does it matter? Why does it matter for the actual... Like, if you want to go into that kind of stuff, at least let us know the character first and, like, why it matters to the actual character. The problem is when you throw stuff like this around and you don't actually have any reason behind it, then it just looks like pandering, which it is.
Snowflake has the power to generate individual crystallized snowflake-shaped shuriken.
They literally have snowflake powers. That's real.
The connotations of the word snowflake in our culture right now are something fragile. And this is a character who is turning it into something sharp.
Dude, guys, if you look into his eyes, you can see that I think he believes there is a greater meaning to this.
Connotations of the word snowflake in our culture right now are
like
something fragile.
Like, this is like for real. You know what I mean?
And this is a character who is turning it into something sharp. Snowflake is the person who has the more offensive power, and Safe Space is the person who has the more defensive power. The idea was that they would mirror each other and complement each other. E negative is the goth kid. When he was a baby, he got a rogue life-saving blood transfusion. This
is such cringe edgy. This is like turbo cringe edgy.
Assume from Michael Morbius, and now he has a very similar look and very similar vampire powers. B negative also is obviously a pun. It's a blood type, which is great for a vampire character, and it's also a proud ownership of the idea of having a bad attitude. I want the people who read Our New Warriors to feel all of the excitement that they
Thanks for the bits, thank you, Nate.
Felt if they read the 90s one. We want it to have big, colorful characters, personality clashes, romance, a diverse cast, which is something that the New Warriors titles have always strived to make a priority. Every New Warriors comic has always felt like a reflection of the year that it came out. And I don't think we're worried about being dated. I think we're way more interested
Watch their arch nemesis, it's called microtransaction.
About being now.
Can I actually buy this? Marvel New Warriors. I want to read it. I actually want to read it. Wait, did they not even sell it? Like, did it actually not even come out? Oh, it was never published. What else has this guy worked on? I'm going to look this guy up. Daniel Kibblesmith. Emmy-nominated writer of television, comics, and books. All right, let's see. What did he work on? The Late Show with Stephen Colbert. Kibblesmith developed the idea for GOP teens in 2012 with a dormant website, which he first began using as a parody in 2014. In addition to tweets, Kibblesmith developed a line parody of merchandise supporting the GOP teens logo. During the 2016 U.S. presidential Republican primary, the parody Twitter account GOP Teens was described by Bustle as a Republican youth outreach campaign that hilariously skewers politicians. Misguided attempts to appeal to young people by tweeting messages written from the perspective of someone who doesn't really understand how social media works. Yeah, let's look at his IMDb. Yeah, he mostly worked on The Late Show with Stephen Colbert. That's kind of like the main thing that he worked on. He worked on Darkwing Duck comics, Powerpuff Girls, Black Panther versus Deadpool, Loki, some Harley Quinn stuff, DC Beach Blanket Bad Guys Summer Special. Oh, it was a comic. It was one of the Powerpuff Girls comics. Powerpuff Girls Winter Show. I'm not gonna lie, guys. I kind of wish this came out. You know, I wish this came out. Like, I wanted to read like one book. You know, like one book would have been great. I wanted to have one book of the new Warriors so I could read it. Yeah, this is not fair. I wanted to hear it. You read the one about Starfire's daughter? Wait, no, what? Starfire's daughter?
I'm Mandy. All my life, I've been the kid of a superhero. But really, I'm like the opposite of my mom, Starfire. She can fly and shoot star bolts. I can't do any of that. Now, Blackfire, my evil aunt, shows up and tells me it's time to meet my fate. So now I have to battle her for the throne of Tamarin, wherever that is. And since I'm not my mother, what happens next is...
How could they do this to Starfire? Like, Starfire was such a good girl. You know, like, she's such a good girl. Like, how could they do this to her?
Going to be totally messed up.
Self-insert?
What's most disappointing about this is the safe space has a cool
Wasn't
power if only he was called Bunker or something.
Wasn't there like a whole joke, like a whole thing about like artists like literally self-inserting themselves and like the character looks literally like them? Actually, wait, wasn't that Scooby-Doo thing like that?
They made
Actually,
Blackfire ugly.
Did they do that with Scooby-Doo?
They made my childhood crush ugly, those damn libs. Really?
Oh no.